Hi, welcome to my video, and if it's your first time here, then welcome to my channel. I'm Aneela and I post videos every Monday and Thursday. Today's recipe is a delicious plum and ginger crisp that uses fresh seasonal ingredients like these plums, and the crumble topping is so scrumptious and crumbly and buttery. I really hope you like it. So first we need to prepare our plums for baking. Make sure that they are thoroughly washed and dried, and then go about removing the pit from these plums. The best way that I found to do this is to run a knife right around the plum and then twist the two halves apart and try to de-seed it as best as I can, which sometimes involves a knife. So I try to exercise some caution when I'm doing this, and I got away this time, so it turned out okay. And then go about slicing these plums no thicker than about 1.5 inches, and you can do it directly into your baking dish. You could do this in a larger bowl as well, because we are going to be tossing the plums with some sugar and ginger, but I didn't want to wash an extra bowl, so I chopped these up directly into the baking dish that I planned to put in the oven.
I think that's enough plum, actually.
I overestimated the number of plums that I would need, and I was able to make another little crisp for my mama, and I even had enough crumble topping for this crisp as well. So although the measurements are down below for you, just keep in mind that you need to use a bigger baking dish than I did. The measurements should work in an 8x8 dish, but they might even work in a dish that is slightly larger than that. Moving on, I've added a tablespoon of finely grated ginger to my plums. And in addition to that, I am adding 1/2 cup of brown sugar. And of course, as I've said before, you could do this in a larger bowl, but I did it in the same baking dish and I was okay with getting my hands a little messy, so I just got right in there and massaged the plums with the sugar and ginger. You just want to make sure that they are evenly coated in that sugar and that there aren't really any large clumps of sugar anywhere. You'll know when this is properly combined. You'll feel it. And you'll notice that I've left the skin on my plums. That's for 2 reasons. First, in the baking process, the skins are going to become so tender that it won't even matter. And second, the skin is what is going to give this crumble a really beautiful color. The crumble topping will of course be golden, but underneath you will find the plums coated in a rich velvety glaze. If you use mostly black plums, then it'll be dark purple, and if you use more red plums, it'll be almost a magenta color. Once you've worked those plums together with the sugar and ginger and you've pressed them into the baking dish, just set that dish aside so that you can work on your crumble topping. The crumble topping consists of rolled oats, brown sugar, some all-purpose baking flour, of course a pinch of salt to even out all the flavors or to balance everything out, and butter, because everything tastes better with butter. Or does it? Because I actually didn't use butter. I used vegan Becel, and this crumble topping was as good as any that I've ever had. It was almost as good as my mom's crumble topping, and she makes an excellent topping. You can use your hands to bring this crumble together, but I like to use a fork because I don't want the heat from my hands to melt the butter or melt the Becel. But, it's up to you. You can certainly use your hands. I needed a little help to steady my bowl. That's my husband, Pranav. It took me a good 3 minutes to bring this crumble together, just to make sure that it was thoroughly combined, that I didn't have any clumps of flour or clumps of sugar. And the most labor-intensive parts of this recipe are now done, because all you have to do is layer the crumble topping over the plums. And don't be stingy with your crumble topping, okay? Nobody likes a crumble that's barely there. And everybody knows that the crumble is the best part of all crisp recipes. Be it a peach crisp, an apple crisp, like a mixed berry crisp. The possibilities are endless. Just don't be stingy with that crumble. Then your beautiful creation is ready to go into the oven. It needs to bake at 375 degrees for a good 40 to 45 minutes, even maybe 50 minutes, depending on your oven. And when it comes out, it will look like this, or it will look even better. Definitely let it cool a little bit, maybe about 10 or 15 minutes before you serve it up. And you know, this would go really well with some vanilla ice cream. But alas, we didn't have any because it's still cold here in Toronto. We haven't bought any ice cream. Okay, there's the color. See how pretty it is? Like a purpley, rich wine color. And that crumble topping was so crispy. I mean, that's why it's called a crisp, right? It was really delicious. Ah, food of the gods.
Actually matches my outfit.
Yeah, your pants the same color.
It's a nice buddy.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much for spending time with me and watching this recipe. I hope you liked it and you found it instructive, and I hope you try it and then let me know how it turned out. Let me know in the comments below, okay?
It's so crumbly.
It's beautiful. Thank you.
If you did like my video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for content every Monday and Thursday. All right, I'll see you with another video very soon. Okay, bye-bye.
It was chilly when we left this morning, and this has turned into like a really cold, wet day, which is not entirely different from the last time we were in Paris. But the thing about being in Paris is that you have to remember where you are, okay? Yes, it's cold. Yes, it just rained heavily. You might be a little bit wet, but the thing is, you are still in Paris.